Make sure to check out my Patreon for exclusive videos never before seen on YouTube. And don't forget to also check out the memberships on my channel page to join and gain access to perks and see videos early. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the bell and be notified of new videos. All the support goes to the production of the channel for better content. Now let's get into the video. What if Goku was Sun Wukong? At the start of everything, the Grand Zeno stood. As he created two beings to help him, he created the Grand Priest and then the Wukong. The Wukong and the Priest created the 18 universes alongside Zeno, but they saw different views of how they wished to create more, as the Grand Priest wanted more power hierarchy, with Zeno making the gods of destruction and the angels and the Supreme Kais. As Wukong saw differently, he saw more with the mortal beings, giving them life and even making a species similar to him with monkey tails and a form. He loved himself a lot, but the Grand Priest hated his childish attitude, and he was very prankster, and was always very rebellious. So, with Zeno, it would end with the two brothers clashing. Their power was so immense it causes everything to change. As Wukong grew so powerful, he fought all the 18 Kais, gods of destruction, angels, even Zeno and the priest. But in the end, after challenging the heavens itself, he lost the battle, and Zeno casted him, but not wanting to kill his creation, he banished him, removing his memories, and he was casted out to the 7th universe as he landed, a stone for 500 years. During the years, a man by the name of Gohan finds the young man in the rock structure, who over time, he would then accept him as his own. But he doesn't know where this young man came from or what he is, but he is very strange. Over time, small memories would come back more, muscle memory would come back as well. His gift for combat during this adventure is on Mount Paozu. He goes back to where he was found by his mentor Gohan, and after soon, he traveled deeper. On the top of the mountain was a rock, and it was shattered. But something with that was that there were monks, as they were claiming that hidden away in this hidden divine weapon that no mortal can lift, far away in the sky. Goku left with more questions than answers, as he asked his mentor, who explains how he found him in a rock and it cracked one day, releasing him. Goku smiled at his mentor, thanking him for helping him, but it was a lot to take in. He does have strange dreams, and some are in flashes, some felt real. Now a few years later, he would be delivering fish to the native villages. Using his martial arts and natural strength, he would stop any bear bandits or groups in his way. His master notes on how the more he fights, naturally he's only growing stronger, tapping into this deeper power that is far rooted away within himself. He believes that Son Goku within will then be seeing his true power one day. But then, on his travels crossing a road, he would then see a strange light, and then a car would hit him. But he would stand there unfazed. As a woman steps out, she had blue hair and blue eyes, yelling at him to be careful. Now Goku was more or less confused on who this woman was. She wore strange clothing, not traditional clothes that the villagers wear, and she rode a strange metal thing that could float. Maybe she was a being in the realms of magic. He would then get into a stance. As she fired a gun at him, he would dodge them and kick her car, crushing it like a tin can. She would then put her hands up, and over the time they would talk and get to know each other. Her name was Bulma, and she was using a dragon radar to search for the wishing magical orbs known as the Dragon Balls. Goku tells her that he knows of one that his master owns, a Dragon Ball. She would then meet Grandpa Gohan, and after some talking, he would grant her, giving her the Dragon Ball, telling Goku that his journey is with her to find these orbs, and it's time for him to go and explore, and to go find his own destiny. As they would then travel along, the two would then arrive at a beach, and they would find a massive turtle. This turtle was far larger than any sea turtle, being larger than a car, and well over a few tons in weight. As it would speak that it got stuck, and after giving it seawater, Goku would then carry the large turtle on his back all the way to the ocean, setting it down. They would then meet an old man who greets them, thanking them for taking care of his turtle, and he states that his name is Roshi, the greatest martial arts teacher in the world. He offers Goku to be trained, but to test him, he asks the fighter to help a village that is dealing with a strange creature that can shapeshift. Then, if he brings him here, he will have proved his worth, and Goku was getting excited. He would then agree and quickly leave, before Roshi could even finish. Leaving with Bulma, they would then arrive at a village that was plagued by a strange beast, that can change into other people and other items as well. Goku would then tell Bulma that they must stop, that they might even give him the Dragon Ball too, so 2 wins with 1 stone, if that makes sense. Bulma would then facepalm, as that's not how it actually goes. But once when they are traveling through the forest, they would then find a bandit group, and the last one that was remaining was actually Yamcha. This man was one of the bandits who did try going after the strange pig, but unfortunately they weren't able to stop it, and he was the only survivor. Once finding this creature who sat upon items he stole, he thanked them for bringing the bandit right to his doorstep, and for trying to rob his precious items. As Son Goku steps forward, challenging the strange pig to a fight, as a small humanoid pig steps down. He claims that his name is Jubaji, the shapeshifter, as he snorts laughing, as some little weird tail fighter cannot match him in his strength. He commands the other bandits to go after Bulma and Yamcha, keeping them distracted, who they will begin working together, fighting them off. Goku would then hold his own staff that he actually made with ironwood with his grandpa Gohan, and it's his closest possession. They would then clash as the beast morphs into size, becoming 10 times larger, being well over 10 plus feet tall. He would then ram into Goku through solid rock wall. Goku would then jump back up, wiping a little bit of blood off his lip. He smirked, getting pumped up, as he would then run in, jumping, being much faster. He would then slam the staff, hitting the beast in the head, as it grabbed Goku, saying, "Have a nice flight." He would then throw the Saiyan way above the clouds, setting him right off the edge of his stronghold. Goku yelled, but then something happened. He didn't hit the ground. Something just happened naturally in his body, like muscle memory. He was then floating on a strange yellow cloud. He would then laugh, as he can summon clouds now and control them. He would begin flying around a little bit, but he would then use it to fly right back in, hitting the pig, surprising him. And, catching himself, Goku would then get serious, as he puts his hand together, charging a blue light of energy within his hands. He then yells, Kamehameha, as it flashes back to his master, teaching him that all living beings hold energy, but only a few beings have been able to use this power, divine, and those that have been blessed by those divine beings to use ki. It's not a normal thing. He would then teach Goku how to use it, as his teacher, Master Roshi, was blessed by a divine being, and the divine being blessed him. Goku was naturally able to use this, but Grandpa Gohan never told him about it because he was worried about Goku potentially knowing that he's a god. Now Goku would just naturally use it as it was normal to him. He would then flash his back as the beast was consumed by the blast. As the entire stronghold falls, the pig changes back and he shrinks down to his actual height, being about a foot or two tall, and he was tossed in front of Roshi, all tied up in a net, who laughed, thanking them. Kami will be very pleased. Confusing Goku on who that is, Roshi states not to worry yet. But this creature named Jobaji, his actual name is actually Oolong. He was a mortal man who was so greedy that he tried to steal from Kami himself, the divine, and he was punished by being stuck as a pig, forced to shapeshift, and only change back to torture him as punishment. Afterwards, he would then bring Goku to his island at Kami's house, and they would begin their training. As Son Goku was growing largely in power quickly, adapting to all of Roshi's teachings and techniques, Roshi would then challenge him to a match. Both fighting with their best, Roshi was showing his true buff form, using his full strength, and during a clash, Goku landed, and, just out of instinct, he would then pluck one of his hairs, and he would then transform. Roshi would then look in shock, as Goku was an exact copy of Roshi. Within his buff state, he would then flex his arms, saying it's weird, but he has some cool big muscles now. He would then get back into it, and he would then hit Roshi with the same strength that he had towards Goku. Hitting Roshi into the sand, he would then change back as Roshi would then stop the match. Roshi was proud of him, but how did he shapeshift? That's impossible. It then clicked in his head as Goku was off eating, as he normally does, the monkey tail Him being in the rock and the cloud, the shape-shifting abilities, could it be true? As that night, while he was sleeping, Roshi was outside in a small area praying for answers to Kami, the god of Earth. As if it was true, he must be the Monkey King, as it was in legends that it's a god. The Monkey King rebelled, but it fell into the rock. Kami was the god of the planet Earth, and he chooses not to warn the others of the Monkey King. As Roshi got the answers that he needed, Roshi accepts another student by the name of Krillin, who's a very gifted, becoming Goku's friend. As time passed, Roshi tells them to join the World Martial Arts Tournament. It is a special fighting arena held every year, bringing the greatest fighters in the world together to battle. Roshi thinks it'll be good for him to test his abilities, which if he can match Roshi in strength, Goku then agrees. As they would continue training up for it, Roshi would then leave on his own, as he would then arrive to a special tower being granted access. He would then meet the god of Earth, Kami, and he bows, meaning a divine being. Kami doesn't meddle with mortal affairs, but a great threat is arriving. Once he was named Pangu, and once on Earth, he helped in the creation of the passage to heaven, and with his power he created life on this planet, and after it was laid to waste from another divine being, who wiped out the planet for his amusement, or he thought they were rude. Now he shudders in his mind thinking of a being of pure destruction, Purple Cat. He tells Roshi that the one named Son Goku is the Monkey King. It must be either a reincarnation or he must have survived the onslaught and was banished. It's the only way. And he has the only power to stop this threat. Now during his creation of Earth, the confliction inside of him split, like yin and yang. All of his negative and evil went into another being, and they severed fully connection. As now it has its own power and its own conscience. He was able to defeat it thousands of years ago and sealing it away, but he's afraid that he has grown stronger, and he's breaking the seal, soon to be free. Roshi would nod, and he won't fail him. Now during the tournament, Goku meets up with his friends, and once again, Bulma was happy to see him, and she's currently dating Yamcha, as Goku was excited to battle these fighters, as a few matches would play out. Now unfortunately, beings like Goku, Krillin, and Yamcha, they are far too strong. Now Roshi's not entering the tournament in this scenario, but because he's already fought Goku and he's satisfied enough. But unfortunately, most of the fighters, though they are very talented, cannot match Goku in terms of strength. But before the real fights could begin, a massive explosion hits the city. As it was too late, the seal is broken. The great Demon King broke free. Waving his hand, he destroyed a city with ease. As he spits at these weak mortals, they make him disgust, as he has the power to destroy the entire planet if he wishes, as he is evil itself, he believes. And then a light would then shine in the sky, almost like a meteor hitting him. It was Kami. As the two deities would then battle each other, the Demon King was attacking him, as the people below would then watch in confusion and awe at the light show. Demon King glowed back in black and purplish aura as he gut punched Kami, overpowering him, laughing at how weak he is. And once when he's done defeating him, he will seal him up, so he can rule the mortals himself, and make him watch as punishment. He was then hit behind as he staggered a little bit, as he turned seeing Roshi with Krillin and Yamcha, as he laughed. These mortals, what can they do against him? Now during this time, Goku actually used the cloud to get everyone, including Bulma, away. Now he also saved Kami, who was dropped by him because of Roshi and the others, who kept him distracted, to save his life. Kami was shocked that a mortal was even touching him, but then he figures out that it is the Monkey King, but he doesn't know about that, so he keeps it quiet for now in front of Goku. As back to all three fighting the Demon King at the same time, they begin trading blows, as even 3 versus 1, it was not enough to defeat him. He's a god. There's nothing that they can do. Even Roshi's unusual power is not enough. The 3 Earthlings would fall. As Roshi got up going into his buff form, he puts his hands together, charging up everything into the world's biggest Kamehameha, screaming as he throws the attack point blank range, hitting him full force. The smoke cleared as the Demon King stood there, smirking, laughing at him, DBZ Broly style. With no damage, Roshi was in utter shock, as he was then grabbed by the face, and he was then punched right in the gut, sending him through the buildings. He would then look around the city in ruins. No other being could challenge him anymore. Though Kami did kind of slither off, he'll find him, as he can't match his power anyway, he's too strong. As rain was falling, he would then turn, seeing a man walk towards him, his fist clenched, as the Demon King laughed, stating, "Who is this fool? Is this the great Monkey King he heard Kami talking about?" But then, he spoke another word before he was cut off, as he spat everywhere, as Goku appeared in front of him, gut punching him, sending him through the destroyed buildings. He got up holding his stomach, growling. It hurt. That actually hurt him. How was that possible? Goku would waste no time in appearing in front of him, using a combo of attacks, slamming him into the ground, as the Demon King would then blow him backwards with his energy, yelling, rising out of the crater, forming a black aura around him. He uses all of his strength, and he would hit Goku hard, slamming him down into the earth. He would then hold his hands out, using his divine power, the earth itself, and fire swarms Goku into a large blast of elements, covering him in mountains of rubble. Goku would then stand in the bottom of it, as he would then take a deep breath. But then memories would begin flashing of him, fighting against some strange blue guy he doesn't understand. But once when it clears up a little bit, he can see that he's fighting some weird blue-looking guy with a weird thing around his neck. And they were fighting in the stars. He doesn't understand. It was really weird. But then he snapped back to reality. He would then smirk. As he begins bouncing around within the rubble, he might actually need to get serious. He can actually cut loose. For the first time, he can use his full strength. He would then use a blast, blowing a hole out of the rubble. He would then ride his cloud and jump off. He smirked at the Demon King as he was ready for round 2. As he begins charging his energy, a white aura, as it almost flickers yellow with power, as he almost tapped into more. The Demon King was shocked, as the power was blowing him back. As Goku's white aura would then dissipate, he would then vanish, appearing in front of him, gut punching and making him spit blood this time. He would then fly into the air, summoning his divine power into a beam of energy. He then glows red as the entire planet was surrounded by negative energy. As it was almost like a black cloud surrounding the whole planet, the Demon King would then absorb all of it into his hands. He wishes him well in the afterlife, as Goku would then stretch his hands out, charging his own attack, the Kamehameha Wave. As the Demon King fires his negative energy blast right at Goku, as it was shockingly red. As Goku fires his own, it engulfs the Demon King's blast, hitting him full force as it wipes him off the face of the planet. He puts his hands down as it was finally all over, and the clouds and everything dissipate, being clear and sunny. He would then help his friends, and Kami was really glad that he cut his connection with his evil self years ago, or else he would have passed on as well. Now, while Goku was off training, Bulma would explain that she collected more of the Dragon Balls and has all 7, but she doesn't know how they work, as she doesn't know how they summon the dragon or how they do a wish. She doesn't know. Kami explains that only Divine can actually summon the dragon, as he does so, bringing Shenron and wishing all the damage itself brought back to normal. So all those lives that were lost and damage was brought back to normal, and Earth was finally brought with peace. Kami thanks the mortals, but then he would turn to Goku and bring him along with him to his lookout. He sits upon there as he can watch over the world, and he will do his best to help the fighter remember his past and more of his power. Goku was excited for this. As a few years would pass, as on another planet would sit the Saiyans, who do quests around the universe for currency. There are more bandits and fighters, but those were only the strongest ones, as they did have a bad rep, unfortunately. Until the past years, they were turned more into slaves among a powerful being named Frieza, who is a powerful tyrant. The Saiyans do manual labor, and if some are gifted enough, they're forced to conquer or face death. One of the aliens who worked with the Saiyans was a small-time seller/bandit, or you could say a pirate or a thief. She likes all the combos. Her name was Chilai. She betrayed by the Force by breaking into a hidden chamber to try and steal the Saiyan's biggest artifact. As it sits atop the tallest mountain, it was a strange staff. For hundreds of years, the staff laid there. It was so heavy that no one could lift it, not even Frieza. No one knows what it is, but the Saiyans knew what it was, and it was sacred to them. Now Frieza knew that it was the Monkey King's weapon, a god. So, it was banished from being seen or be touched. Chi-Lai would escape, barely. Her ship was damaged, messing with her cords. She would go to the closest planet that she could, and she would crash on planet Earth. Now, with meeting up with Goku, she would then fire a blast right in his face, as she doesn't know who this is. Goku would then dodge the attack and calm her down. As Bulma and the others were there as well, as it was interesting seeing a green alien for the first time, but she was more surprised to see his tail. He was a Saiyan, which confused Goku on what that is. After doing about 20 minutes of explaining to Goku, he kind of understands, and she relaxes around them to another 20-minute explanation of her situation. Having a tyrant ruling over planets, the aliens here slaving under him like dogs, as Goku is willing to help her stop this tyrant guy at all cost, as she pleaded that he's way too strong. Roshi would then rub his beard, stating nonsense, as this man is the Monkey King. Which Chi-Lai would laugh, that's impossible, he's dead, but it's his funeral if he does want to come back to the planet. As anyway, afterwards, with Bulma's help, she would then have her ship all ready to go and fixed up. As Goku would then say that he will be back as soon as he can, but he needs to help these people. If they do need help and they are him or his same race or whatever, he needs to go help them at whatever cost. Did that make any sense? Goku explained, and they said, no, not really, but it's a pretty good speech. Good luck, Goku. Goku was then sent out. Now, during the way of space, Goku was amazed, as once when they arrived, Goku was amazed by seeing the advanced tech in the slop town of thieves and bandits. As remember, he's used to the villages and forests, he's not used to seeing technology. But this is a slop town of thieves and bandits, as it was very crowded. Sound like Chicago. No hate. He almost felt at home, as they all are similar to him. They all have tails just like he do, and similar goofy hairstyles that never change. As Chi-Lai drags him along, they climb over a special ledge of a wall. Goku would then be in shock seeing horror, as it's the opposite on the other side. They were Saiyans, they were moving items like camps, being tortured, as she tells Goku that this is the truth. Saiyans that are weaker are forced to do labor, as more thieves and bandits are on the other side. And there are Saiyans here as well, but these are the stronger ones who are allowed to conquer. But the weak ones, unfortunately, women, children, old, young, doesn't matter, they all suffer. As Goku would then have a flash of memories of him somehow being here before, as he sees through someone else's eyes, or is it his eyes? That there were hundreds of thousands of Saiyans surrounding him, all bowing, and they were all having their hands on him as he had his hands out, as it was he was some kind of god. As he's cutting into himself, he doesn't understand, as he's stuttering. It's so weird. He's been having these weird dreams. Are they fake? Are they real? As he's never been here before, but he would then snap back into it, as he won't let this happen. He would then jump in, and he would defeat some of the Frieza soldiers, helping the Saiyans up. As the king of the Saiyans, named King Vegeta, greets the Otherworld Saiyan at his castle, after the Saiyans brought him there. Now, he will not grant him the honor of being a Saiyan until he does prove himself. Now, the reason he isn't dead is where he stands is because he did save some of his people. Goku looks at him and tells him that he's actually here to stop this Frieza guy, making the other Saiyans laugh, as it's impossible. He would then summon his own son, Prince Vegeta, to combat him, and if he does prove himself, then maybe he might take him a little bit seriously. Now, within this large arena, hundreds of thousands of Saiyans gathered, and other aliens as well, to watch the freak show, and even Frieza himself to see what's going on, as they haven't done this in millennia, it feels like. As Frieza did hear of a Saiyan who did kill some of his men, he wants to see what he can do. So Frieza was in his own spaceship in the distance watching. Now, after a new visitor, Prince would then arrive, removing his cape, as Prince Vegeta would then smirk, and he will be mush when he's done. And he is some outcast, as he would then get into a stance, charging and attacking Goku, who dodged his attacks. Vegeta growled in anger as he charged in. He had good speed and strength, but he wasn't divine like the Demon King. And Goku would tell him to hurry up and use some cool energy pew-pew attacks, which confused everyone since only divine beings and some mortals can use energy. Because they are blessed, that is the reason why. And everybody was confused. Goku would says, well, can you not charge up your energy? Goku would then show him, as he would begin charging up his aura as it glowed white, blowing the arena and everyone around it. Frieza would also stare in shock and anger. How is this possible? A Saiyan using ki? It's impossible. Only the divine or beings blessed by them can use it. Goku would then appear before Vegeta with the powerful kick would send him through the arena wall. As Goku might have put too much strength behind it using his ki, that he nearly might have killed him. But Vegeta was then held back up, as King Vegeta would then stop the match. Though Vegeta could have continued, and he did spit some blood, he was really angry that he did technically lose. Now, this is when Goku would then look to the spaceship where Frieza sat in the distance. He tells them that he cannot let this tyrant sit here and rule over them and slave them. He cannot allow it. As he leaves, the Saiyans would actually cheer, as something big is coming. King Vegeta then speaks with Goku, praising him. Although he hates that his son lost, he is right. He does the best chance, and if at all, the Saiyans would team up. Could they really defeat Frieza? Goku states, are you tired of being a slave and being treated like this? As King Vegeta would then agree, you know what, good idea. What have we got to lose anyway? Goku, after doing his really good speech, would actually get the Saiyans pumped up to actually do a rebellion against Frieza. If they all team up, they can do it. And Goku would then speak with Chi-Lai, and Chi-Lai, who would actually help him in the skies. Her bandits and pirates of Thebes, they have a massive fleet, and to help fight in the skies and keep a lot of the men at bay, in case also Frieza tries to escape as well. Goku would then nods, as then after preparing for the next day or two, it then all broke loose as the war begins. The raiding fleets then be attacking the skies, weakening the hold, as the Saiyans, all branding their armor, scream for their creator, for the Monkey King, as they praise him as their god, who if they die, they believe that they will be met by him. It's some Spartan level shit. As they charge in, fighting Frieza's soldiers, blasting through them, Goku would join in as Frieza's special forces arrive, called the Ginyu Force. As the strongest Saiyans would actually team up and actually defeat one or two of the members, Guldo and Raccoon. Now with the help of Goku, they were able to defeat the other three as well. As Goku makes it to Frieza's ship, the tyrant was waiting. He crushed the wine glass in his hand, as he will suffer for this insolence, and I guess he needs to do it himself. As Frieza would then charge his own aura, he would then clash with Goku as they fly across the sky. Goku was riding his cloud, as it would shake the entire planet. As Goku was able to keep up and begin overwhelming Frieza, Frieza would then land, as he was impressed, but he will then show his true form. He would then begin transforming, bulking in size, being around 7 foot tall, and his final form is changed. It's a similar design to his second form. He would then charge in, hitting Goku full speed, and he charges his own death ball, as Goku catches it being exploded back into the mountain. Frieza would then laugh and state that this was pretty impressive, but he has no chance of beating him. Even at his full strength, it's not enough to match him. He is the ruler of the universe. Frieza would then charge another death ball, as Goku was too weak to deflect it this time. It would then hit him, and Goku was just enough to survive. Goku would then wake up, and he was standing on a weird cliff of a rock, but then next to him was the staff of the Monkey King. As he began to slowly glow, being near its original owner, Goku laid there. As he looked up at the sky, it was amazing. He was badly injured and bleeding to death, but he never felt so alive. He never felt someone so strong before. That's not even a deity, or was it? He doesn't know. But he feels very strange now. Feels very loose. Feels like he's melting like water, but he's warm. And the harmony. As the skies darken, his hair begins flickering yellow. As he feels like Frieza threw him off the edge into his ocean of potential deep within himself. He doesn't know what's happening. Is he learning to unlock more of his power? Is he being pushed past his limit? Letting his body learn more of it? As then, it then exploded. His untapped power is leaking. A massive beam of yellow light hits the rock skywall, as then Frieza would then stare in shock, as standing there, as all the Saiyans there as well, and the Frieza soldiers. There was Goku, sitting upon his cloud with a yellow fiery aura, and his hair was like fire. His hair was flowing, and he was like a god. Holding his staff, he glares at Frieza, as the Saiyans instantly drop their weapons and get on their knees bowing to him, as even Frieza's men do the same. Frieza growled as he fired a blast, throwing a ki blast right at it, making a more bigger explosion. Goku would then stand there with 0 damage. As he looked at his hands, he begins laughing a little. He feels super fuzzy and happy. But then he got serious again. No playing around, no playing tricks. He then looked at his staff like it belonged to him in a way. He would then smirk and fly in with shocking speed, hitting Frieza with the new staff, blasting the Emperor away. As he flew right behind Frieza too fast, he would then appear behind him, hitting him into the sky. As he flew past him again, yelling as he hits Frieza into the ground, he lands, his hair slowly flowing and glowing golden like fire, his glowing reddish yellow eyes. He would then drop the staff in the cloud as it dissipates, and he smirks a little bit. He's gonna fight Frieza with just his fist, mainly. He would then leap across miles at a time, throwing Frieza alongside with him by his tail, overpowering him with ease, gut punching the Emperor, making him spit blood everywhere. As he punches Frieza into outer space, Frieza lands on one of the meteors surrounding it. He fires a massive attack, as Goku uses one of his hands, pulling one of the very small moons in front of him as it hits the moon, exploding it into thousands of little pieces. Goku then smirks, holding his arms out, he summons more of the rocks that are around him, summoning it into one ball. He would then throw them at Frieza, by the dozens of them. Hitting Frieza, who would blast as many as he could, it was a distraction, as Goku would then fly through space like a beam of light in a meteor. He would then hit the Emperor, sending him through the other rock pieces as well. Frieza didn't have time before Goku appeared, and he would then deliver a powerful punch, punching him all the way down to the planet once again, into a massive crater, making a huge explosion. As it was seen from outer space, it was so large. The Saiyans came to see that Frieza was dead. Nothing. As he appeared on his cloud with his staff, the Saiyans all quickly bow. As he reverted to his normal self, he then fell, passing out. As he awoke in the medical bay, Chi-Lai was there, as she was thankful that he was alright. But he was quickly brought to King Vegeta, who bows to Goku, though he was confused why he's bowing. Why is a king bowing? Is that normal? And King Vegeta states that he's son Wukong. Goku stares blank. He then grunts and then he states that he's the Monkey King, the creator. Goku nods, but he has no clue what he's talking about. After he was fully healed, he states that he needs to head home, but if they ever do need his help, he is on planet Earth nearby. Though the Saiyans don't want him to leave, they preferred if he didn't, but they're not going to stop him, and they understand. He even offers that if they ever want to come to Earth every now and again and live there. It's very peaceful. It's a lot more green than here. It's all just rock. Some plants, but mainly rock. King Vegeta would then think about it, and Goku would state another thing. Since that Frieza's gone, all this raiding the planets and destroying it, that's not going to be happening anymore. We're not monsters. We're not going to take life and hurt innocent people. King Vegeta agrees, as he doesn't want to do this anyway. Goku then states maybe do things for good. Instead of destroying things and ruining things, maybe protect people and do the right thing. Or just live peacefully on your planet. And Goku says that he'll definitely come back here again. Or if they want to come to Earth peacefully, they can always. And Goku definitely wants to see Prince Vegeta again, and he wants to have a full rematch with him and not be interrupted next time. And Vegeta smirked as he wants to have his rematch. Now, once when Goku would then arrive back on Earth, Chi-Lai would then give him a fist bump, and Chi-Lai promises to drop by again, as Goku was her space buddy after all, and his friends were all happy to see Goku. Now, once when Goku, after the celebration, eating his usual self, he would then be greeted by Kami once again, and Goku would then bring him to his lookout, who smiled as he told Goku that they have much to discuss. After the defeat of the tyrant Frieza, peace was finally restored to the Saiyan world and the entire universe. Goku reaching this new level of power sent ripples throughout the universe. As the Kais heard of this, after investigating, they were shocked to see that the Monkey King lives. They cannot interfere with mortal affairs, only higher-ups can. And the last thing they want is to be damned for allowing the Monkey King to be set free. They see that he isn't like his usual self. Has he lost his memories? It must be. And he's not as strong as he once was, as the Kais have an idea. They will grant a mortal godlike power to destroy the Monkey King. They look towards Earth, as in the West City, a scientist who is working underground. He's tirelessly working on serums and mutations and biowork to enhance things and in the end, give himself godlike powers. As a child in his village, he saw a goddess appear and grant a blessing, but yet they never gave him one, and he would not let some gods decide that science. He will become one himself with the power of science, but every test so far has failed. Before he has now given up on everything, a light would then appear, as a being with no face would offer their hand, telling him that they can grant what he wishes. He would then not hesitate and then take the gift, and he was swarmed with power. As he looks normal for now, as the faceless being tells him, you now have the power of absorption and mutation. You must grow like cells. He laughs. That's a pretty good nickname. I'll name myself Cell. Why not? As he would then leave the lab with his new power to begin growing stronger. As back to Goku, he was at a village with Roshi before a messenger appeared. As Roshi reads it, he smiled, as he was invited by the deity named the Ox King. Now Goku wonders who that is, as Roshi explained years ago, he helped them against serpents, the snakes, and the Ox Kingdoms have been at war for centuries. As Roshi and Goku fly off, Goku using his cloud to help out, Roshi would then explain that the Serpent Kingdom is ruled by the Princess Snake, and she rebelled against her creator Naga, and thus they became evil, destroying the Ox Kingdom, and they have been at war for over 100 years. Goku nods, as he doesn't want anything to happen, but he'll do everything he can to help the Ox people stop this war. They would arrive, and it was a massive kingdom. The people seem happy and content. Goku actually enjoys seeing the old themes of the city. It's very traditional, and there's not really any technology around. But then his stomach grumbles. He was starving. As they find a small noodle shop, Goku would then slurp down 30 bowls of ramen and a few dozen dumplings for a snack, and also a whole pot of tea, of course. As Roshi would watch, asking for some pepper, as the person would just walk right past. As afterwards, Goku was happy for now. Now Roshi wonders, do all, quote, Saiyans have a diet like that? As walking up the long stairs, they would then arrive, as workers will bring them in, saying that the Ox King will be in soon. Roshi tells Goku just to wait, but Goku, knowing his curiosity, he began wandering off, as Roshi was kind of too busy looking at some of the ladies among the workers, as he's still Roshi. Goku was amazed by this building. As he was looking around, he would then look around and see that everything was spotless, and it was amazingly made. He would then reach an open garden that has a large peach tree, and his mouth waters looking at the peaches. That's his favorite food for some weird reason. As then he would have a flashback of him before, maybe, eating these peaches, and they were glowing with divine power. He was feeling some sort of rebellion phase, but then it snapped back to reality. Maybe just one won't hurt, right? They're normal peaches. And he would then jump up on the tree, eating dozens of them. As a voice would make him pretty much jump up in shock, he would then catch the peaches in a comical way. It was a very beautiful woman. As she was looking at him a little strangely, but kindly, Goku would laugh, saying that he's really sorry, he just wanted a snack, and the peaches were here, and she would smile, saying she's never seen someone like him before, and anyone who has a monkey tail. It's strange. Her face would then light up as she sits next to him, as he was hanging upside down by his tail, still eating, saying her name was Princess Chi-Chi, as she was the daughter of the Ox King. And she heard of him before. Is it true that he's actually the Monkey King? If so, it was an honor. Now, Goku then jumped off his tail and sat normally next to her. He doesn't really know. He just goes by the name of Goku. But then he was curious. He asked her about these bad snake people. Chi-Chi frowned, as she told a 20-minute backstory about how their kingdom is ruled by the tyrant Princess Snake, as their city is much more advanced, as her father enjoys the traditional days, hence there's no electronics or cars. They've been at war for over 100 years, and she's seen all of it. Goku stares at her for a moment, as Chi-Chi would then frown and state, what is it? Goku then asks, if that's 100 years and you've seen it all, aren't you a little too young looking or to be old? And then in Dragon Ball style, she would then hit his head, yelling his ear off that she's a goddess, she doesn't age like that. Goku would then rub his hand afterwards, and he was confused as after a bit more talking, she calmed down, and Goku would then tell her some of his stories. Before Roshi calls out for Goku, they had a good time. He would then get up, saying see you later, as he would then run off as Chi-Chi already has feelings developing for him, as he was rather handsome. As Goku makes it to the throne, seeing a massive man, being 12 feet tall, at least. Goku would then hold up his hand, saying yo, and he came out here to help with these snake guys and try and stop his war. As the Ox King laughed, he admired the fighter's words, as he heard of him defeating the Demon King, so he could definitely help. As once telling Goku his plan, for Goku to steal a book that they have containing everything. They have plans, travel routes, trading, and locations. It'll be more than enough for them to maybe turn the tide on the whole war. And Goku would then nod and go on his mission to go leave. Now Goku's not much of a stealthy guy, but he needs to be agile like a monkey, he says. Agile like a monkey? Can he be like a fly or a snake maybe? No, snake people are bad. As Roshi just says, I'm gonna just head back home for this one, he would then trust Goku to handle his own and be good for his training anyways. As Goku would then ride his cloud across the sky, he would then find the city. He would first walk around, it was much more advanced, but it was in the slums. Places were very packed together, and no room, and people seemed gloomy and not very happy and struggling. As it rained, Goku headed straight for the castle, as he thinks of how he can get in. As he thinks, well, could he become a monkey, or could he do that shape-shifting thing? He hasn't really done it much, but he has to think, what is a good sneaky little animal or person he can turn into? And then randomly on instinct, his body would turn him into a cicada. And he was confused why he was flying around, but he was really loud, but it's a cicada. As he flying around, he would turn back, all the way heading towards the book. As he easily snuck past the guards being a little cicada, they just think it's a bug buzzing their heads. Goku would then find the book, and while he grabbed it, he yelled out woohoo, but he messed up because the guards spotted him. He would then fly off on his cloud full speed, easily evading them, and once arriving back at the Ox Kingdom handing the book, he was very thankful, as the Ox King would then thank Goku. As the night came, Goku was met by Chi-Chi, who actually offers some food that she made, and Goku never turns down a good meal, as she's a pretty good cook for being alive for so long, and it does get boring up here, as she made a whole table of food for him. As he eats all the amazing food, as the morning, the Ox King thanked the fighter once again, and it will change the tide of the war. Goku nodded, as he would then head out. Chi-Chi would then ran to him right before he does, asking if he can come back sometime. As Goku says that her food was awesome and he promises. As he summons his cloud and flies off, back over to Bulma's place, it's been a few weeks since he's seen her, and he was happy to see all of his friends. As Yamcha, Krillin do want to spar with him, as Goku smirked, he never turns down a spar. As the two tag team heading towards Goku, as cutting back to Chi-Chi, she sat outside the castle looking over the city. She was a little down and gloomy that her Goku was gone. As the Ox King put his hand on her shoulder, saying that oh, he'll be back again. As then, at the entrance, there was a massive explosion. As the people run for their lives, the guards trying to hold back, as the Snake Kingdom has attacked full swing. As Princess Snake appeared, she walked through the castle. Any guard she easily defeated, being way too fast and powerful. As the Ox King held his axes, telling Chi-Chi to get out of here, she would then arrive face to face with the Ox King, stating he's gotten fatter and a lot older and slower looking since 100 years ago, and it's time for him to give up his kingdom or else everyone will die. As the Ox King held his axes, he stated he would rather die. He would then charge in, swinging his axes, as he glowed a yellow by power. Using his strength, she swiftly dodged and blocked the attacks, using her strikes fast, like a striking snake. She has grown a lot stronger since then, but the Ox King hasn't. As the Ox King falls, she formed her blade as Chi-Chi yelled for her to stop, and to take her instead. She smirked and stabbed the Ox King, killing him. Chi-Chi screamed, crying. As she hopped off the dead body, she headed towards her to end this stupid bloodline. As she formed a ki blast, throwing it at her, an explosion. But none of her was there. She was confused, had it been something. She didn't use that much power. Before she turned around, snapping her head, she sees Chi-Chi in Goku's arms. As he sets her down, he sensed this strange power while he was sparring Krillin and Yamcha, and he flew here as fast as he could. He would then set Chi-Chi down, he would follow, walk towards the Snake Lady with a serious look on his face, stating that she must be the Princess Snake. As he looks over, seeing the dead innocents and the Ox King's body, he growled a little, telling her that he will defeat her. As the ground shook, she laughed, saying that was impossible. Some mortal cannot match her strength. she was then cut off as Goku sent a powerful ki push, sending her back. She caught herself as Goku appeared and gut punched her through the boulders as she got up growling. That actually hurt. How is this possible? He's immortal. There's no way that he's even stronger than the Ox King. She thinks no matter. He must be blessed, or he must be a deity. It doesn't matter. She would then transform, showing her true goddess form, being a massive serpent. Surrounding the castle, she looms over the village. Goku would then summon his cloud, and he would then carry Chi-Chi and all the others to the entrance where the villagers all are, who all survived. She begs him not to go, as she'll die. Goku reassures her that he can handle this. He will avenge her father's name. Goku would then turn and look at the snake as he begins running through the village at full speed, leaping far into the air. Summoning his staff, he would then hit the snake right on the head, making it smack on the floor. Goku would then fall back on his cloud, flying around as she tries to bite him, but he dodges the attacks. Then he would then jump over her head, running down the back of the snake as she tries to swipe him with her arms, but Goku blocks it, and he delivers a powerful punch, sending the whole bite of the snake heading back. The snakehead tries to bite him again, but he grabs it by the mouth, holding it open. But then, it spits venom into his face, making him scream in pain, as he couldn't see. She would then use this chance to barrage claw him, as the tail hits him to the solid ground, making a crater. As the snake mouth opens, forming a massive ki blast, she whisks him well in the depths of hell, as she fires, hitting a Saiyan with the full blast. Now Goku gets serious, as while he was within the blast, he begins yelling, charging his power. As now, the blast was gone. His eyes were back to normal again, not poisoned, as the golden power saved him. He was now in Super Saiyan once again. As he then summons his staff, he would then throw it right at her, hitting the snake, knocking it over. The staff would then disappear back into his hand, as he would then run forward as she tries attacking him with her tail, but he blocked it with his finger. He would then extend out his hand and charge a Kamehameha wave. As in rage, she would then use her hands and the snake mouth to fire thousands of ki beams, as he dodges each one seamlessly. Imagine the Ultra Instinct scene with Kefla. As he vanishes, appearing right in front of her, he fires the ki blast, making a huge beam of power, as she was flown all the way into space, being completely disintegrated. Goku would then put his hand down, as he uses his cloud, arriving in front of the villagers, who stare in awe. As he glows a golden light like a true god, they bow. As he lands on the ground, his hair fiery flowing around. As the clouds around his body move, he reversed to normal as his stomach grumbled, and he was sure hungry again after that fight, as Chi-Chi hugged him, as she was truly happy that he was alive. Now afterwards, they held a gathering for the fallen Ox King, and Chi-Chi was appointed the role of the Ox Queen. And since the war ended, the Snake Kingdom fell. Most people moved into the kingdom, doubling the size of it, and it was a little bit more advanced, but it did keep the traditional side, as Chi-Chi was never going to really change much of what her father did, but still move it forward. Now Chi-Chi was a great ruler, getting along with all the other kingdoms, as she wished Goku to be her husband and rule with her, but Goku didn't really want to. And Goku didn't even know what it was until she explained it a little bit, but he wasn't all that interested in it for now, as she understood he has his own path, but she says that her arms are always welcomed. As Goku says, oh yeah, sure, maybe he'll think about it, and he would then fly off on his cloud to Mount Paozu. As back to the main cities, people have been reporting missing, and in villages as well. Now, Kami got notified once his captive Oolong went missing, and he was found in a hollowed husk of remains, like he was drained of all of his life. As this worried Kami, as the scientist named himself Cell, again, his arms swelled, being 4 times the size with claws as he slashed through the bandits on his way. He loved the power, but he needed much, much more. He wants that delicious divine power. That's what he needs to evolve. As he looks at the lookout, he can sense divine power up there, as the closest there was on top. He would then jump all the way to the top, as Krillin and Yamcha were actually doing their training. Now Roshi was next to Kami watching them train, as Roshi brought them up there a couple weeks ago, as they've been training very intensely. And with Kami's help, they even went to another dimension to train for over a year, to where within a year inside of that realm, it is only a day on the outside, so they have grown much stronger. And with Kami giving them his blessings, they have only grown much stronger as well, tapping into their true godhoods. As Kami gave them their blessings, they have grown into unlocking powers that he never thought was possible. Kami was surprised that mortals can do this, As once when Cell arrived, liking this place, Kami slammed his staff, making a little crack, telling how dare this mortal step foot on these grounds. How did he get here? As the man laughed, stating who he is and why he's here to steal their power. Krillin and Yamcha nod, as Krillin goes forward, smirking to bring it on. As Cell charges in, his arm growing, Krillin dodges and he sweeps his leg. As he would stand on his hand, he would then do a spin kick, hitting Cell right in the face, sending him right off the ledge, falling down to the open forest. As Yamcha, Roshi, and Krillin jumped down, Kami would follow. They would then stand back and watch Krillin do what he needs to do. He would then heal his wounds, as Cell was smirking. This human was different. He was strong, very strong. He needs to string them along so he can continue absorbing some of their power. He was only evolving more and more. As he charged the purple aura, as her lightning sparks off him, he laughs. Krillin got serious. As he got stronger, the man looks different. He seems more mutated than before. What has happened to him? He's only changing. This man has turned into black armor-like tissue has grown over his arm. It's making it bigger with spikes and claws on it. It's spread over his stomach and chest. As he flies in, elbowing Krillin, Krillin would then catch himself spinning, landing back on his feet. He would then wipe his nose. Krillin knows that he cannot hold back, and this is a good chance to show his power. Krillin would then show his new power. He begins charging his white aura, as his eyes have a red glowing line around them. A symbol appears on his forehead, as he opens with red eyes. Roshi smiles proudly alongside Kami. Yamcha smirks, as Yamcha then removes his cloak he had, and he said this is going to be fun, as he looks at Krillin saying let's show this new power and kick some ass. As Yamcha charges his new power, as fur covers his body as a wolf tail forms with the ears and the claws. As a white aura with electricity forms, he rips off the other half of his top G, and both of the fighters is at their true divine strength, showing off their new form. As Cell revels in this, he was amazed with how much the gods have blessed them with some strong fighters. Krillin smirks, stating, "It's more than a blessing, buddy." As Krillin and Yamcha stated, having a flashback, ever since sparring with Goku they easily lost. They realize that they need to be more than martial artists, stay true to our roots, but follow our power within ourselves as humans. And it shows, Yamcha following the path of the wolf god, and Krillin following the god Buddha. As Krillin held his arm in front of himself, he would then stop, as Yamcha said, "Nuh-uh, I'm going next." He had the first round. Krillin said, "Go right on ahead." Yamcha then ran on all fours with blinding speed, vanishing right in front of Cell. He yelled out Wolf Fang Fist as he did a combo of punches and slashes. Cell was struggling to keep up. As Cell jumped back, kicking Yamcha in the face, he wasn't even affected by the attack, telling a guy to hurry up. He was bored. As Krillin was watching, Yamcha has some new moves he's dying to use, as he formed a Kamehameha. He would then hit Cell full force, making a huge explosion. Cell would be badly wounded, missing half of his body, but he would then regenerate. But then his body mutates again, absorbing some of the power that he got. His eyes red glowing with power as he mutates further, growing in power, forming armor and more arms on his body, more bug-like, tasting more of this divine power. As Yamcha's eyes widen a little bit, saying, "Oh, that ain't good." Cell would then appear, punching Yamcha into the air, as the two would then trade blows, clashing back and forth. Yamcha uses the Neo Wolfang Fist, as Cell was able to block most of the attacks. As they were seemingly equal in power, Yamcha jumps back to the ground, as Krillin appears next to Cell, out of nowhere, kicking his face as he dashes below and uppercuts Cell's stomach, making him yell in pain. Krillin would then dash and jump again, and right above, he would then charge his hands and use his ki to push to slam Cell all the way deep into the ground. Krillin would then land gently, as Yamcha says that's a bit of a show-off move. Why did he butt in? And Yamcha said no fair, he didn't even go full strength yet, he had him. Krillin deadpan looking at him and says that you need not be so confident, that we need to work together. This mutation ability he has is bad. If they keep on doing it like this, he's soon going to surpass him, and then that's going to be a problem. They need to team up. They can beat him. As he was distracted, as Cell would then jump out breathing hard, a little bit of growling, as that won't happen again. As his appearance itself doesn't change, but he does grow a little bit more bulkier and a bit larger, being around 8 foot tall now. He charges in like a tank, hitting Krillin and Yamcha, who tag team trading blows back and forth. He uses one of his arms to swat them away, as he was so happy. He's finally got what he wanted. He's a god. As then, Krillin has an idea. He tells Yamcha to use that move. Yamcha smirks. He's been wanting to do this, and he tells Krillin to charge up your move too. Yamcha would then charge the Spirit Ball, throwing it right at Cell. Cell would then dodge the attack as it would follow him, moving him around. It was quite irritating. But then Krillin would then charge up a Kienzan or Destructo Disc, throwing it right behind him as it would cut him vertically in half. And then the Spirit Ball would then hit the pieces, causing a massive explosion. Then they would do a high five, giving a fist bump as well, thinking that they did it, but then they realized that there was a piece of him, and it would then regenerate, as now he was even stronger. And this is not good, as now he's even stronger than before, and they should have destroyed it when they had the chance, but it was too late. As while this was happening, Goku would land nearby, and he was going to actually join in, but Kami and Roshi tell him wait, as they explain that Krillin and Yamcha needs to handle this on their own, which did let Goku down. He really badly wanted to fight this guy. He seems so strong. But Roshi tells Goku to stay back. Unless Krillin and Yamcha lose or go unconscious, he will not interfere. They need to win this alone. As then, Cell would then appear right in front of Krillin and Yamcha, overpowering them with a combo of attack, blasting both of them as they would land on top of each other. They would then get up groaning in pain as Yamcha growled out, "We're getting our asses kicked out there. What do we do?" As Krillin got up, as then now Cell was beginning to charge up a massive attack. This attack was so massive it looked like a small planet in his hands. As Krillin thinks that any attack that they throw at him won't work, unless they can use their attack to bounce back his own attack, as he can't absorb energy he already is using, and that is his own, as it can maybe destroy him. Yamcha has zero clue what that means. He would deadpan him. Krillin would then explain and just kind of shrug that he honestly just kind of made it up, but either way, they got to put full power into this. It might overwhelm him. As they would then both charge their auras, Yamcha and Krillin saying ready, as they both charge a Kamehameha. They would then charge it together, and then Cell fires the mountain-sized ball of red energy right at them. They would then fire their beam as it would clash. They struggle as it begins to overpower them. As Krillin says they can do this, Yamcha nodded, yelling, "Now!" As they yell, using their full strength, the beam doubled in size as it blows the attack back. Cell was hit by it as he tries to absorb it, but it was too much energy. As a massive explosion, Cell was completely destroyed. Krillin and Yamcha fell. They were completely exhausted. Using up all their energy, Goku ran to them saying how awesome that was, and how their forms are super cool too. He wants to spar with them as soon as they're healed. But then Roshi would then hit his head, telling him to chill out. They just defeated a powerful enemy. But Kami was more worried about something else, as Kami's eyes widen as he wonders. This is confusing, because the ground was shaking. That's not good. A light would then appear as a voice stated to him that he looks like a horror asking for more time. As then they look up, seeing Cell, but he wasn't talking to them. He was talking to somebody else. It was a light. It was a faceless being. Kami's eyes widen as he knows exactly who that is. Are they blessing him or are they doing something? Kami then knows it's the Kai's for sure, as this could be really bad. But then they see the hand move, as then Cell was then turned to ash. As Kami was so confused, Kami needs answers. And if it's the Kai's meddling in their affairs, that means that they do know that Goku is Sun Wukong. And that is bad, as this must be the Kai's. As Kami ponders in his head, were they given this mortal power to try and kill Goku, as he is the Monkey King? Or could it be maybe that they tried blessing him and he turned on them? Potentially. Everyone is in danger though if that is the case, but Kami will try and fix this peacefully. He would then bring Goku to his lookout, and they would travel to the heavens, as Goku would look around amazed, as it was cool here. Souls were passing through, and they see King Yema, who does help the souls pass into heaven or banished to hell for breaking the sins. As Yema grants access, Kami was allowed to visit the 4 Kais and the Supreme Kai. Now, Kami would then bow. Goku would wave his hand as usual, saying yo. As Kami was shocked, telling Goku to bow, Goku was his normal, happy self. Why they sent some weird guy named Cell after him, he doesn't know why. And he would then ask the Kais that. The Kai's eyes twitch, as the Supreme Kai cleared his throat, although really annoyed about how foolish he's acting, and stating that because you're a danger to all of you, and you somehow survived your damnation by the Grand Zeno. and they don't know how, but they do not want him to rebel again and destroy all that they have done. As Goku was confused, he asked what did they mean, as he has zero memory of that, and they were surprised to hear this. He doesn't remember any of it? Maybe Grand Zeno removed his memories, as this could keep work in their favor. They maybe can use him and keep an eye on him. They state that he was a good god, very nice, and loyal to those around him. Yes, absolutely. They struggled to say nice things of him, as they hated him. They asked for him to stay in the other world and to do a few jobs for them, which Goku asked what it is, as they state that it's a few cleaning jobs that might keep him distracted. The Supreme Kai told the other Kais to not make him clean anywhere near something important, like the Peace Tree of Immortality, which, original, he ate it all, which gave Son Wukong immortality, because it felt like Goku would then instantly decline. Stating that he's not no cleaner or anything, he would want to stay on Earth and he doesn't want to work any jobs or anything, but he will help those who need it. This did anger the Supreme Kai, but he calmed himself as he has one idea. He tells the Monkey King that they can have a champion of heaven, as if you can defeat this champion that they have, you will be allowed to leave, and we will not interfere anymore with you. Goku would then agree, as this is exciting. Fighting someone super strong, as it was known as the Heavenly Tournaments. All the strongest beings in heaven will combat for the blessings and a special gift to be brought back to life and granted life once again. As Goku watched a few of the battles go on, he was put to the semifinals immediately. Granted for the Kai's lovely request, as they know that most of the other fighters would not be able to beat Goku, but the last two fighters may have a small chance. Their champion definitely can. As once when Goku would then go to the semifinals, he was excited, as he was so excited to battle the champion and earn the right. As Goku gets into a stance, he would then see the person step out with heavy steps. It was the Ox King, surprising Goku, as the Ox King was happy to see Goku again. But he wishes him luck. As the bell rang, they clash, cracking the arena, as the Ox King was moving much faster than his originally was, and he's a lot stronger too. As the Ox King laughs, stating that within the heavens, their limitations are gone, such as sleep, energy, and old age. He can fight like he used to as a young man, a couple hundred years ago, maybe about 1,000 or two. He formed 2 battle axes using his yellow aura. Goku was amazed with how strong he was, but he remembers that this is the Ox King after all. Goku then charges white aura as they clash. Goku would then kick the axes away as they clench hands, as Goku yelled, pushing hard, as the Ox King was very strong. As Goku would then let go, using his clouds, he picked up the Ox King. And in a split moment, he uses all of his ki energy to knock the Ox King out of the ring. The Ox King barely caught himself, just in time. But then Goku delivered a final kick to his gut, cracking his armor. He still caught himself with his hand, but his boot hit the floor, and he lost. As he got up, he would then shake Goku's hand, as the final round would commence in 1 hour. Goku then sit next to him, as the Ox King would then begin asking about his daughter, as Goku would tell him about her, and the Ox King was very proud to hear this, and Goku apologizes for not being there soon enough for him, and the Ox King says, no, I died with honor, as that's the way that the Ox King and the Ox King soldiers work. We fight for honor, and we find honor in death. I'm perfectly fine with staying dead. My daughter can rule the kingdom with no problem, not without me. She doesn't need me. She's more than ready. And he's very proud, and he thanks Goku for saving her and for saving his kingdom. He truly is. And he says that you definitely earned your title. But he warns Goku that the champion is not who he thinks it is, and he is absurdly strong. He is a god. As now, this is when Goku would then make it to the stage. All the Kais would then appear, even the Supreme Kai watching. He then sees another Saiyan. He was really small and skinny though. Goku then waved at him, yo, as the Saiyan told him that he does wish him the best of luck. He hasn't fought another Saiyan in hundreds of years. As the bell rang, Goku charges in. As the two clash, trading blows back and forth, he jumped away, as Goku admits this guy was pretty good. As this man smiled, it was time to get serious. He tells Goku that he remembers him. This lesser version of him. Nearly 1,000 years ago, the Saiyans was in chaos, as he was a rebel Saiyan who stood against the evil. The Monkey King arrived near my final breaths, and granted me divine blessings, and I will show you this blessing, and I will give it back to you, in a way. He would begin powering up, yelling. He transformed, not being small and scrawny anymore. He grew a foot to 2 in height and way more muscle mass. His red hair flows like fire, his aura flaring around him. He's become a god. Goku was amazed, as he never knew a form like this was possible. Can he get one like that? As he got into a stance, he charged in, delivering a powerful punch, but the man caught it easily, delivering a powerful punch back to Goku, sending him down to the ground. As Goku would then not have enough time, he barely dodged his Ki-Blast. As he got up as the crowd was cheering on, Goku needs to ask, "Who are you?" The Saiyan would then smirk, saying that his name was Yamoshi. Goku smirked, saying, "Alright, Yamoshi, let's turn it up a notch, huh?" He would then power up into Super Saiyan, his golden hair flowing, as Yamoshi's never seen that power before from him. But it was truly incredible strength, but he wonders why is Wukong holding back? He's holding back so much of his strength. This is not his true form. Goku would then smirk and state he's always growing and growing and growing. He's only getting stronger the more he fights, and he thanks Yamoshi that through him he can learn more of his inner power. As he's been wanting to practice this new power that he earned within himself, he begins searching the inner deepings of his power, as he knows that he needs to evolve. He begins powering up. The power is shaking the heavens as he grows fur, turning a red color, and armor forms around his body. He transforms, branding new armor, his black hair flowing with a yellow and sparkling aura. He's one step closer to his original state, accepting his primal Saiyan side. As Yamoshi charged in, his attack was caught easily, as he would gut punched him. Goku wishes to test his power further. As he flies in on his cloud, the two clash back and forth, as Goku would then elbow his face, kicking his side. Goku would then spin around and uppercut him in the air. As he would then run right below him, leaping up right above his head, he would then sledgehammering Yamoshi down to the ground. As Yamoshi jumps up, they clash again, as it was almost like people couldn't even see what was happening. They were fighting so fast. The blows were shaking the heavens. Yamoshi says, "Let's put it all on the line here then." One final attack. Yamoshi then charged the final attack, as Goku charged up a new move, times 10 Kamehameha. As it turned red, he fired it as they clash. Goku, using his strength, overpowered Yamoshi, knocking him out of the ring. Goku would then help Yamoshi up, as Goku was the winner, as the Kais have no choice but to growl and swallow their pride and give the Monkey King his reward. Goku would then thank Yamoshi a lot for this battle, and if he could ever come back to heaven, he will for sure fight him again. And he tells Yamoshi that he doesn't really remember anything about his past. He doesn't know. But judging from him, it seems like the rebel that he did was a good thing, because the Saiyans are not as evil anymore. He did help them. They were forced to do labor under this guy named Frieza. Yamoshi growled as he wished he was there. He granted him this blessing and he lost it. He lost himself, and he failed. He was able to beat the main culprit, this guy that by the name of Cumber. He was incredibly strong, and he was all the evil god's power into one, but he was able to beat him, but he died in the process, killing him using his own god power. Goku would then put his hand on his shoulder saying, "Listen, you did a good thing, as if it wasn't for you, most likely the Saiyans were not going to be there, and I wouldn't have been able to learn anything about myself. So thank you, honestly. And when I start to learn more about myself and maybe unlock more power, I'll definitely come back for you. I promise." Yamoshi would then smile and state, "I'll be waiting for you, then we'll have our rematch." As then now, since Goku was granted his reward to bring somebody back to life, Goku would choose the Ox King to be given life again. As Kami brings both of them back home to planet Earth, Goku was allowed to leave by the Kais. As the Kais were very salty about it, they were not very happy that he just won, but they will keep a very close eye. They are a person of their word. He brings the Ox King to Chi-Chi's palace, as she would then cry, seeing her father once again, hugging him. She then hugged Goku, thanking him for bringing her father back. She offered a large feast for him, which Goku would never turn that one down. He feasted to his heart content, as later on he was with Krillin and Yamcha and Kami, and he asked Kami, was the Kais the strongest beings out there? To which Kami would then state that that's not even close, which that only excites Goku for his next adventure, as far off in a realm, a being laid there asleep, as he takes a very, very long slumbers himself. Soon he would awaken, as his attendant was an angel, has urgent news, which the god of destruction is known as Beerus's destroyer. During his meals, he asks what it was. Whis will be sweating a little bit as he states that Sun Wukong lives, making Beerus spit his drink everywhere, coughing, yelling that's impossible. He was stopped by Beerus and all the other gods all those years ago. The Grand Zeno sealed him away. Beerus then shudders. Yeah, like we stopped them. He remembers how even though all 18 angels and gods of destruction teamed up, that damn Monkey King easily slaughtered them all with ease, even sparing their lives because he could. He even decided to heal them and fight him again just because he wanted to, as he was that strong, as he was mocking them with his power. Only the Grand Priest and Grand Zeno could barely stop him, but they couldn't even kill the bastard. He thought he was sealed away forever. We shook his head. No, he was somehow freed, but he lost all of his memories, and he's not even at his full strength at all. Beerus then smirks. This is a perfect chance to try and fight him and end it all. It will also make the universe look a lot better, and for the Grand Zeno, and he can really rub it in his twin brother's face about it. He demands Whis to make a course for Earth at once, which Whis nods, yes, my lord. And that is it for this part, you guys. Thank y'all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's get to 50,000 subscribers, and I will talk to you all later.